Hey everyone, I'm back. I just had a little episode that I need to tell you guys about. This is like real life lessons. So I actually answered this listener question earlier, made the video earlier. Somehow, as I'm trying to share it on my other page, I end up deleting it in the process. And I have this moment to myself where I was like, I can't believe you did that. How did you delete that? You can't make another video. Like a whole thing for really no reason at all. I mean, we all make mistakes. I deleted the video, make another video, move on. But sometimes, especially as women, we do that where we make a tiny mistake and we just use it to beat ourselves up. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make another video and answer the question all over again. So I hope that everybody is having an amazing Friday. I had a really great question from a listener, and she is all the way from Australia, actually. And I'm going to read her question for you guys. Hi, Tennesha. Hello from Australia. I love your podcast. You have a very down-to-earth quality about you, which makes you awesome to listen to. I have been seeing a guy for about 5 months before he broke things off, basing it on the fact that we both had busy schedules, and it was difficult to find time to see each other. At the time, I also felt like it was the best thing. We broke up about 2 months ago, and upon reflection, I really feel like there were so many qualities about him that still make me feel like I want to be with him. At the time of the breakup, he made it quite clear that he still wanted to be friends, but via text, and didn't think it was a good idea to meet in person, as he admitted to having feelings for me and not wanting to cloud his judgment for what he thought was best. We still communicate on and off via text. I usually initiate. However, my question is, how can I convince him to meet up in person, and do you think this is a good idea? Well, and this is signed R from Australia. So she also, before I even go there, she also messaged me again to give me a little bit more detail on him. So he'd had a couple tragic things happen in his life. So his father passed away, and then shortly after that, his best friend passed away, and his fiancée that he'd been seeing for many, many years, she cheated on him. And so he kind of had these back-to-back tragic life events before getting together with her. So what I think is this. Normally, if any man says, I don't have time for this relationship, I would take that to mean, well, you don't have time for me, or you're just not that into me. Now, in this case, I think it's a little bit different. I think what he might be experiencing is just chaos, right? So he's had all these things happen to him, and quite frankly, he probably doesn't have the capacity for a relationship at this point. I mean, he's lost his father and his best friend. He doesn't have a ton to give in a relationship. And so I think, a big factor here is probably bad timing. It's just, right person, wrong time. But, the larger part of this is she is saying that she wants to be friends. But, from what she said, I'm garnering that she probably wants more than that. So if you really do just want to have a friendship and be there for him, you can do that. But you need to make sure that you're going into it without expectation. So what you don't want to do is enter a friendship with him hoping that more comes out of it. And then if more doesn't come out of it, it's going to upset you in some way. I've had a situation like this myself where I was dating a guy and he broke things off. And, immediately I said, well, I still am your friend and I'm still going to be here for you. And he was dealing with a lot of stuff that he wasn't necessarily sharing with other people. So I kind of felt almost like a burden to maintain a friendship and still be there for him, because I had to be the one. And so I still did that for a while, and then I realized that I was expecting more. And I thought, let me ask myself this question. If I am having this friendship with him and he ends up with somebody else after he's better and he's gotten through the things he needed to get through, am I going to be upset? And the answer was yes. I would have been extremely upset if I was, there for him and his shoulder to cry on, and then when things were all better, he had moved on and I was still expecting something else. So I think that's really the big question here is, can you be a friend to him and be just a friend? And if the answer is no, then you really should move on. Because you don't want to set yourself up for disappointment and failure in that sort of way. So I mean, I don't think you should meet up with him in person if you're expecting more than a friendship, because at this point it seems like he can't really even give that. And you deserve more than that if that's what you want. If you're looking for a relationship, well, and he's not willing to give that, there's really not much point in sticking through it. So I would say, even though he's a good guy, you need to move on from this one. And, if things get better with him and you guys happen to cross paths again, great. But I wouldn't necessarily push it in that direction at this point. So I hope that helps. And thank you for writing all the way from Australia. And if you guys have any questions or need any advice, be sure to inbox me. Or you can always reach me on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere. And don't forget to tune into the podcast, DRL, every Wednesday on iTunes or SoundCloud. And until next time, wish me love.